Hello friends, I hope you are doing well. So this is the first video of our series. So we are going to begin from how to plan our preparation and how to make a schedule. So whenever we are planning for examination, for any preparation, इसमें पहला step होता है कि you have to make a proper plan that how you are going to cover your syllabus over this span of time. So what I'm going to do in this video series that I'm not going to make any lengthy videos. I'll make a short, I will make multiple small videos where I will emphasize on very small things which any NEET aspirant will find difficulty during their preparations. So here's the first video about how to make a timetable and how to make a schedule. So I will divide NEET aspirants, I would like to call them into two groups. So first, who are beginners, who are giving NEET PG exam, which is going to be called next year, and INI CET, which is for institutes. So I will distribute into two groups who are beginners, who are giving the exam for the first time. Then there is another group, I would like to call them as challengers. So why challenges? Because they want to challenge their previous score in NEET PG entrance. They're not happy with it, so they want to give it one more try. So beginners and challenges. So I would like to share with you how I made my plan during my preparation. So for beginners, I would like to say welcome to the competitive world. You will now realize that how much you have to study and how much competitive this exam is going to be. Second, I would say that you have cleared your FMG exam, so have faith in yourself that you are ready to take on any competitive exam. The second group challengers who have given the NEET PG already but could not obtain the score that they wanted. So I would like to say, do not give up. As I said in my earlier video, I have also been there. मेरे साथ भी ऐसे हुआ था. I could not get good score. But what is important that you need to be persistent. There was some day when you wish that all you wanted was just to clear the FMG exam. But now today you want to crack the NEET PG exam. So what you are today is also a dream of many. So you have to value what you have. You have to celebrate your success of FMG, and now you have FMG exam, and now you have to move on to preparation of NEET PG exam. So I know what I would like to tell them, that whatever you are investing now, this is the investment, the time that you are investing. When I was preparing, when I did not get a good result, then I was about to give up. Then one of my friend, he told me, you have to look, see our medical field, time is not that important. Why? Because if you are going to achieve your dream branch, then it doesn't matter how much time you're going to take, as long as you're going to achieve it. For example, if I'm going to do, like, my dream was to study into AIMS someday. So if I'm doing MD Pediatrics for AIMS, after 10 years, I will be MD Pediatrics. If someone has achieved it later, let's say someone is going to attempt it next year and he gets the MD Pediatrics. So after 10 years, we both will be MD Pediatrics. Nobody is going to ask you कि तुमने कब complete किया and when did you finish your MD Pediatrics. So as long as you are going to complete your dream, it doesn't matter how many attempts you take. And there are a lot of foreign medical graduates who have achieved their dream. So it is possible. You have to have faith in yourself. And you have to tell yourself that it is possible. So let's start this video series. So पहले हम बात करेंगे, we will talk about how to make a schedule. So I will like to share with you guys one of my schedule plan, that how I planned my schedule. So I will be sharing the screen with you guys. So here is the schedule. So whenever we are making a plan, whenever we have a certain objective, I'll say, so we have to make a long-term schedule and a short-term schedule. So why it is important to make a long-term schedule? So as we know, the date has, they have announced the date for the next exam, and that is supposed to be April next year. So we have 7 months in our hand. So we have to make a plan that how we are going to cover this syllabus over in this next 7 months. So there will be some students जो लिखना चाहते हैं, who want to skip this NEET, who are beginners and who want to write the next exam जो इसके बाद होगा. So they can make a more relaxed schedule. But what I'm going to give you a frame line that how the basic schedule should be. So whenever we are talking about the long-term schedule, we are going to divide these months. So I have color coded them. So we have 7 months. So initial October, November, and December, I have coded them as red months. So we have to do our first read. So even if you are beginner or if you are giving one more attempt, so you have to give your first read during this initial 19 days. 90 days. So what you should do, you should read slowly because this will be more of a conceptual reading. Here you have to understand what you are reading. यहाँ आपको समझने की कोशिश करनी है कि आप क्या पढ़ रहे हो, आप क्या पढ़ना चाह रहे हो, and you are trying to understand it. So you can retain it longer. Slower you read, आप जितना अच्छे से पढ़ोगे, better you will remember it. So initial 90 days you are going to have a first read. Then in the month of January and February, you are going to have your first revision, which is going to take 60 days. And then you have to do your second revision. Again, it will be, you'll be getting around 60 days. If the exam happens in mid-April, then you will going to have somewhere around 45 days you will have for your second revision. So now you have a long-term plan. Now you have to divide your subject as per the long-term plan. So as we know, we have 19 subjects that we have to read for our PG entrance examination and also for FMG. So I have color coded this initial 6 subjects in red. So why red color? Because they are the most important subject. आपको सबसे ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है इन सब्जेक्ट पे and they are going to be your rank deciding subject. They are going to give your rank that you desire. If you see previous year question paper, you are going to see that major chunk of questions come from these 6 subjects. Even if your anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, and pharmacology and microbiology, if these subjects are good, you will be able to answer questions from medicine, from PSM, from surgery also. So these subjects are going to help you answer the questions from other subjects. So these are the subjects जहाँ पे आपको सबसे ज़्यादा ध्यान. Having said that, now coming to the big four. तो हमारा जो मेडिसिन है, PSM है, प्रिवेंटिव एंड सोशल मेडिसिन, सर्जरी एंड ऑब्स गायनी, सो ये कहलाते हैं बिग फोर सब्जेक्ट. तो दे आर सो वास्ट दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर कंफ्यूज्ड दैट हाउ शुड आई रीड, which book should I refer, and how much time should I spend on this subject, and how important are those subjects. So we are going to address that question also. Then when you take consideration into next, which is going to be the different some different kind of exam. So again, pediatrics and ophthalmology becomes important because they have given a separate window for this subject. So again, you have to concentrate on this subject. Then these blue, these are the small subjects. These subjects are called as rank. As I told you, the initial grade were rank deciding subject, and these are the rank maintaining subject. तो आपने जो भी रैंक ऑब्टेन किया है, जो जब आपका इनिशियल 6 सब्जेक्ट आप स्ट्रॉन्ग करोगे, that will bring you in top 10 to 20,000 in your PG entrance examination. Now, when you have good command over these small subject, because small subject you don't have to read them thoroughly, you should know most commonly asked points from this subject. So if you do your homework well about this subject, you are going to end up in top 5,000. That's how important these subjects are. So let's plan how I had divided these subjects during my preparation. So for anatomy and these initial 6 subjects, in 90 days we have to finish our first reading. So let's assign 7 days each for all of these subject. Then coming to the big four, again I would like to assign 7 days each for these big four. Many students they feel that they might require more days for this, but that is not worth it, and I'm going to explain it why. Because I told you earlier, these initial 6 subjects are going to help you in answering the questions from these 4 subjects. So if you make your base stronger, if you make your basics preclinical subject strong, better, your exam will be easier and your rank will be much better. Then coming to these 3 subjects, so let's assign 4 days each for pediatrics, ophthalmology, and ENT. And for small subjects like psychiatry, radiology, orthopedics, anesthesia, forensic medicine, and toxicology and dermatology, let's assign 3 days each for all of these subjects. So these days which I have assigned, they are for your first read. That is a slow reading that you are going to do over the period of 90 days. Again, this schedule, I am giving you one example for those who will be studying at, who will not be working or have not joined any classes, and who have whole day at their, they have whole day available for reading. I will also explain those who have joined classes or who are also working somewhere how to plan your day. So this is about the long term plan. So if you plan your subjects in such a way, so now you are going to cover your 19 subject in 82 days. So you have 8 days to spare. No matter how good timetable you make, no matter how much you spend, how much efforts you put into following the timetable, there will always be delay. If you ask me, I had made one small notebook. I used to make timetable every 2 weeks. I had to change my timetable every 2 weeks because किसी में delay हो जाता था और I needed some more days for some subject. So you have 8 days to spare in this timetable. जहाँ पे आप even if there is some emergency or if you cannot study in between, तो उसके बीच में you can take a break if you are not able to study. You have 8 days where you can adjust. So in 90 days, what you have done, you have finished your first read. Now, from which books to read, which notes to read, how to read, what should be the approach, that I will be explaining in next videos. Where in detail I will tell you that कौन सा material आपको follow करना है, कैसे करना है, and how much time you should spend. But here what I want to emphasize is when you do the first read, try to highlight important points. Try to make a charts. What habit I had, I used to make A4 size charts. जो आपका A4 size paper होता है उसमें आप charts बना दो. Use like blue, black, red. These are like very bright sketch pens. So आप उससे make tables that you are going to forget. For example, action of extraocular muscles. No matter how many times you read, you are going to forget them. So make a chart and stick it to the wall where you are living. So whenever you are going to bed, when you are planning to sleep, just before sleeping, have one glance on that chart. Trust me, when you are going to write your exam, that chart is going to project in front of your eyes because so many times you're going to see that chart. So it is going to help you a lot. So whenever you are doing your first aid, try to do it slowly, make important points, get one notebook जिसमें आप the things you know that you might forget and important points, just write them down. So what you are going to do in the revision one? Revision one में आपको करना है whatever points you have highlighted, whatever points you have made, you have to read them again. You have to revise them again. Also, you have to go through the, I will advise, do not use notes for revision one. Go through the books, go through the material which you use for first aid. What happens when whenever you are reading highlighted points, you also have a glance of other things like पेज पे अगर कोई डायग्राम है आप उस पर भी एक नजर डाल देते हो so that remains in your visual memory. Revision 2 exclusively read only your highlighted points and the filtered points that you have made because that those points are going to be most important points and those are the points which you know that you are going to forget. So revise your charts, revise your tables, look again your images and just read highlighted points in your revision 2. So that is going to help you in remembering for long term. So that is how you are going to do your long term plan. Now just for example, I have made one small timetable for a week. So let's say you are making a timetable for the first week of October. So 7 days you assigned for anatomy. So you are going to read anatomy for next 7 days. What my anatomy teacher used to say, that changing subject is the best way of not getting bored. If you're going to read only anatomy whole day for 7 days, you are going to get bored and you will lose interest. So couple it with the other small subjects. If you find any subject difficult or boring, let's say pharmacology, you don't like reading pharmacology much. So couple pharmacology with another subject like you like dharma. So couple pharmacology with dharma. So whenever you are bored, you read some points from dharma. So you again interested in reading. So again, then once you're done with your dermatology, again you come back to the pharmacology where you left. So like on 1st of October, I have divided that I will read about theory of anatomy, I'll read theory of dharma, and then I'll solve MCQs on of such large subject like preventive and social medicine. So ये जो वीक का है, for this you need to make a short term schedule. जो हमने पहले टाइम टेबल बनाया था, ये था लॉन्ग टर्म शेड्यूल. So what is short term schedule? So short term schedule is about a daily routine. तो जब आप इनिशियल फेज में होते हो, whenever you are in a initial phase, like whenever you are doing your first read, So first it may spend your 80% of the time of the day on theory and 20% time on the MCQs. When you begin your revision, you have to increase time for your MCQs. So what you do, spend 60% time on your theory and spend 40% time on your MCQs. Now, why I'm emphasizing so much on MCQs? As you know, if I would like to give you one example, they say Virat Kohli, he's a very good batsman. So whenever he knows that he's one of the finest cricketer in the world, but लेकिन जब उसका final match होता है, whenever he has to play a match on the ground, it's not like he is coming out of the hotel room and directly started playing. He has to do the net practice for 2 days and then he will go and play the match. Why? Because he wants to practice and he wants to improve his reflexes. Exam is all about that. जब आप MCQs solve करते हो along with theory, it sharpens your reflexes. Sometimes the answer directly comes to your mind without even trying to remember it. That's how the reflex will work. That is why reading MCQs, training your mind to understand. Because when you are reading theory, you are trying to read the concept. You are trying to remember so much of information. So you don't know how the MCQ will be framed. MCQ is framed from the data which is spanned over, let's say, 3 more pages. MCQs help you to connect those links and your mind is trained so you can solve these MCQs. So always have a time in your day where you solve the MCQs. So here is one example where I have given a daily schedule. So I was a morning person. So what I'm showing here is what timetable I used to follow. So I would wake up at 6:30 a.m. Do my morning shows and I'll start my study. I'll reach library at 7 a.m. So morning time, I used to feel that this is the time when you are fully energetic and you can read maximum. So initial 7 to 10 a.m., 3 hours I would read theory. So as I had shown you that anatomy was the first subject I started with. So मैं anatomy से start करूँगा. I'll read anatomy for 3 hours from 7 to 10 a.m. Then at 10 a.m. I'll take a tea break. I'll have a tea with my friends. I'll have some discussion. Okay, what we are reading. That will be like a stress buster. Again, I'll come back to library and I'll start at 10:15 and I'll read for next 3 hours. Again, I will be reading the theory. Now, here's the catch. You have to add subjects which you are comfortable with. Like 7 to 10 a.m. If you read anatomy, if you want to continue with the anatomy, you can continue. If you want to switch to other subject, you can switch to some large subject like medicine or PSM. These next 3 hours. As again, I would like to emphasize, changing the subject is the best way of not getting bored. It is the best time pass. Do not use social media. Do not go on phone because you are bored. That will just take you away from study. It will take you further away from study. Then take a lunch break between 1:15 to 2. And then at 2 to 4 p.m., once you're done with your lunch, most of the exams will happen in the morning session or evening session. So give whatever you have read today. Now 2 to 4 p.m. you should assign time for MCQs. So in my next videos and my next sessions, I'll be telling that which MCQs books I had referred and I'll just give you some advices that which books to follow. So just buy one MCQ books which has explanation in it, like answers and explanations. So between 2 to 4 p.m., just go through any random MCQs. You don't have to solve the MCQs which you have read in the morning. There is no need. आपका एग्जाम ऐसे नहीं होने वाला है कि whatever you have read yesterday you are going to be asked next day. You can solve any random. Make a schedule for MCQs also that this particular day, initial 4 days, you are going to start solve MCQs for the psychiatry. So from 2 to 4 p.m., assign this time for MCQs. Then between 4 to 5 p.m., I used to take a power nap. I used to take a power nap because it is a 1 hour period when I'll just go to my room and I'll try to sleep. Even if I'm not sleepy, I will not use my mobile phone. I'll just close my eyes and try to sleep. Even if I'm not able to sleep, I'll get up at 5 and then I'll start reading again. But that rest for your eyes and your mind is important. Do not, again, I'll like to emphasize, there is no need, do not use mobile phone during this period because you are going to get distracted. Take your mind and your eyes. It is the best time to rest. Then when you come back to library at 5 to 7, then read again theory and now you can read the small subject. Like you have been reading anatomy for whole day, you solved some other MCQs. And then between 5 to 7, you can read the small subject like dermatology I had given in the timetable. So you read now about dermatology. At 7 p.m. again take a tea break, meet your friends, talk about preparations, keep tell each other's the motivating stories. So that's what you can do during this period. Then again, before sleeping 7 to 8:30, again go for MCQs. You can continue the same MCQs. So you don't have to change frequently. Then have your dinner, and before sleeping, again go back to theory. So sometimes now this is the end of the day. 9 to 11 is like most of the time you will be tired. So read the subject that you like. Read the subject that is easy. Like read some theory from medicine. Read something from surgery. Whether you have to just enjoy the reading and not bugging up. So around 11 o'clock you will go to sleep. So if you follow this schedule, the total hours of study would be around 13.5 hours. And you also sleep for 7.5 hours. To have a fresh mind and to return better, it is important to have a sleep between 7 to 8 hours. Remember, this is not a 100-meter race. In 100-meter race, you have to run fast. You have to give your energy in a very small time. Remember, this is not a 100-meter race. This is a marathon. In marathon, you have to conserve your energy for the last. You have to peak at the right time. So do not spend your energy in the initial period. Do not burden yourself. Do not stress yourself during the initial phase of preparation. Okay. So whenever we are, so this is how you plan your daily schedule. So what I'm trying to emphasize again, what difficulties you are going to face. It is very difficult at the beginning. Whenever you are planning to study, अगर आप beginner भी है, अगर आप पहली बार नीट के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं, or even if you are giving another attempt, it is very difficult to start. But remember, आपने if you have started going to gym or you have started learning any new instruments, या फिर आप अगर कार भी सीखना start किए हो, you know that the initial steps are very difficult. You feel like giving up, that you don't want to do this anymore. But remember, you have to think of the dream that you are going to achieve. You have to think about the prize that you are going to get. So when in initial days, you might not be able to study for 13 hours. Maybe you will study for 5-6 hours. It's acceptable. It's completely acceptable. आप शुरू में start slowly. Read 5 to 6 hours for initial 2-3 days. Then slowly pace up. And you can spend your time with friends. You can discuss with them your common ambitions. You can keep motivating each other. Only thing is, do not break the link. Do not break the schedule in between. If you're not able to study at all for some day, just at least try to read for 1 hour. At least try to solve MCQs. If you're not able to read theory, like you are so tired and you don't want to read theory that day, just solve MCQs for 2 to 3 years, but do not waste the whole day. What this is going to give you when you go to bed that day, it is going to give you satisfaction. Okay, मैंने आज कुछ तो किया है. So do not persistent. To be persistent is the very important key to crack any exam. So whenever you are making a schedule, it might be difficult for you to stick to the timetable, but you have to motivate yourself. अगर आप किसी दिन किसी प्रॉब्लम की वजह से आप शेड्यूल को नहीं कर पाते, trust me, I have changed my schedule multiple times. Every second week I had to change my schedule. So it's okay if you're not able to stick to the schedule. Then whenever you are deciding this subject, it's upon your comfort. अगर मुझे ये सब्जेक्ट मेरे लिए कंफर्ट लग रहा है, शायद आपके लिए वो उतना नहीं लगे, तो you have to choose accordingly. But do not forget this formula. Whatever is in red is most important, followed by green and blue. So these are the most important subject, and you have to give them their due time whenever you are planning your schedule. And remember, making a long term and a short term schedule. Which books to read, which material to read, how to read, that I'm going to explain in the next video. So guys, try making your own timetable and let me know in the comment below what the difficulties you faced and what else you want me to tell. Also, those people who are working and who have joined classes, what you have to do is when you are planning your daily schedule, instead of wherever I have written theory, during this period, you can include your class timings. And whenever you are done with the class, there is no need to read whatever they have taught in the class already. Try to give your maximum attention in the class only. Try to learn as much as you can in the class only. So when you come back, read something else, so your mind will not be bored. Solve MCQs before sleeping, so that will make you think, that will improve your critical thinking, and that will improve your clinical acumen also whenever you're getting the clinical questions owing to the changing pattern of it. जब भी आप क्लास से आते हो, कोई और सब्जेक्ट पढ़ो और एमसीक्यू स्टार्ट करो, so this will set a pace. If you're working, try to take a MCQ book along with you on duty and just solve MCQs, because reading theory on work is difficult. You cannot have that concentrated concentration because you'll be getting frequent interruptions. So just take a MCQ book, because for MCQ book you need a concentration for that period only. You need a concentration only for that MCQ. So you can solve the MCQ, you can attend a patient. So whenever you are working, that time just take a MCQ along with it. Whenever you come back from your duty, take a quick nap, have a good food, and then start reading. And when you're home, read more of a theory part. So guys, let's in next video I would come up with the study material. So try to make your schedule and let me know in the comment section what difficulties you face. And if you have any other questions, give me them in the comment section. So I will try to answer them in my next video session. So guys, I wish you best luck and thank you.